Hello and welcome to the first meeting of the year. It's January 8th, and today we have a few demos. Um, Let me get started with the first one, which is, let's see, screen share. Why does it say that Discord does not have permissions to screen share, even though it definitely does? Fine, let me see. God, I always love getting last minute stuff not working. No, there we go. Okay, fine. I have to rejoin on that one. I have definitely screen shared from Discord on this laptop before, so I'm not sure what happened there. All right. Sure. And yeah. All right then. So first off, there was a bit of a design refactor or rather redesign of various things on the JSR website. Nothing all too major, but I think there were some nice improvements. One of the most obvious ones is the top bar, the package nav bar. Settings, various things in settings have been changed. We have unified spacing a bit more all over the place. We have unified the fact that we have like so many different types of lists. Like on the landing page, we have this type of the list. Then if you go to browse packages, we have this one. And basically everything now falls under these two types, rather should. Beforehand, I counted we had 6 or 7 different styles of lists, which was like getting out of hand and really annoying, especially since we were just duplicating stuff all over the place. So yeah, John put a couple of days work into just cleaning stuff up. And yeah, I mean, there's more to be done still, but that is definitely a good beginning. One thing we definitely want to revisit is the generated docs, but that is a big rabbit hole to go down to that will take a decent amount of time and thinking of how we can improve these. But yeah, that's on the design wise, that's that. Though I'm already on this page, I'm gonna tease up an upcoming feature, and that is there's a new JSDoc tag that we have added support for. It's not landed in JSR just yet, but it will let you specify the priority of symbols. Currently, everything else alphabetically sorted, but that is not always ideal. One good example, can I think of something? No, but let's say, for example, from this package here, log level seems to be the main thing. Everything is utilities and type aliases. So this one should be the first one. And there's now a new tag, which is the priority tag. I can quickly go to the PR. So there's a new add priority. It takes a number and it behaves similar to Z index. So higher number, the further up in the list it will be. Lower number, the lower in the list it will be. So you can also deprioritize things. And I have a bunch of packages in mind where I can use this because yes, we want to display everything, but also obviously there's stuff that is more important than other things. And I feel like being able to reorganize the order of things is useful.
Why do we alphabetically sort? Like,
By
shouldn't it just maintain the order of what the user puts? And like, is this priority thing a JSDoc thing?
well, it's not an official JSDoc thing. Like a lot of JSDoc tags we support are actually not supported by JSDoc. We have thrown that out of the window a long time ago. Um,
Yeah, but like, why does I don't get why we alphabetically sort.
that has just been what we went with.
'Cause then you have to use the priority. If you just like, I feel like it should just use the code structure, and then you don't need a priority tag like thing.
Fair.
And then you can be like, oh, I want to alphabetically sort, and
Yeah,
then you do.
there was some. I think the default code structure, like it kind of with the HTML rendering, kind of got messed up. I can't remember the exact detail, but also there was a lot of discussions about how we want to sort them. At one point, we had sorted by primarily by symbol type and then alphabetically. Now we have purely alphabetically. Uh, People are very divided on this. So
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
Is it possible to give the user control over this?
you mean having like a select, like a
Yeah.
sort? Ooh, that could be possible. Tricky, but possible. Yeah, I don't see. Okay, definitely can be done. Will
I
I
think it's
work on
kind
this
of hard
anytime
to
soon? No.
it's kind of hard to look at the code structure for the sorting because in many libraries there's like re-export of symbols from one file to another. And so then the order of the import statements would sort of interfere with the order of the generated documentation.
True, yeah.
Like,
And I'm
So
guessing this takes things from different files. So
yeah,
like
exactly.
this does this, for example. Now, okay, these are already
Yes.
alphabetically sorted anyways, so that's just a terrible example, but yeah.
Sure, but there's also the organize imports thing. Wait, but it doesn't organize exports, right? So that should not. Does it? Maybe it does.
I don't know. David, do you know?
Yeah, I guess like the other thing is you could have like a bunch of export whatever from some file and the names that you're exporting would all
Yeah,
be different, so alphabetic, because it's the named exports that.
Good point.
like I can go to here and like this one is a clusterfuck because the main entry point is sandbox, which is all the way down there. And then I can look at the mod.ts, and the mod.ts is like,
Yeah.
it's a
I
bit
think
all over the
priority is a
place.
really nice solution. I really like it.
Yeah, and like the problem with code sorting, like, or rather the default sorting, as you say, David, is this example. Sandbox is important. VS Code is absolutely worthless. Like, this is
Yeah.
not used by users. This is just a class we have. And if you export stuff from various places, like,
Yeah, you need multiple export statements, which would be
yeah.
pretty bad.
So I
Uh,
don't think there's a perfect answer. Let's put it like that. So being
yeah.
able
What
to
about
control it, I think it's decent.
mhm. What about class members or interface members? Do we sort those? And does this?
Um, yeah, let's see.
They are in order of appearance.
That
they look alphabetically.
that looks
They are.
alphabetical.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think we might be sorting properties alphabetically as well. I think everything is basically sorted
Well,
alphabetically.
wait. What page were you just on? That wasn't alphabetically.
Wait a second. This one wasn't. Oh no, you're
No.
right. There's
Yeah,
S and an
sure.
M,
Okay,
and
good.
the list. Yeah, I guess we sort these ones because I mean you're looking through them. If you're looking for something specific, if this is like in a random order, if it being alphabetical ordered is easier to like quickly scan through and find the one you want.
Yeah, that's fine for there. I think when you're looking at the actual file info, if it just does what it's doing today, that seems good. Sometimes I group stuff like, different options. If they're similar, I'll group them
Yeah.
and not bother with alphabetical. But yeah, okay, cool. All
Also,
right, this makes sense.
all right, good, good, good. one more thing that we fixed was that the symbol search, it was not searching for the stuff in the like the properties and methods, but now that works. Yeah, minor, but that should help. Surprised that wasn't already the case. Yeah, so front-end UI wise, I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah, now the other demo, the actual big demo, new feature. Let me pick, yeah, this random package. Let me go to this. Wait, this is not the. Let me go to the STD scope here. Webhooks. That's a new feature. So let me just create a new webhook. You get this beautiful page, so you can put a URL for a webhook. I can quickly just do that by, let me just get a webhook link for the general channel in this JSR Discord. Definitely the best thing to do. Just pick a random channel and create a webhook for it. Let me that. All right. And wait. Send that. Definitely very smart to share a webhook link with everyone in the world, but it shall do. And let me copy it from the general channel. All right, so we have that. We have different payload formats. So you might be already familiar with, for example, GitHub. GitHub lets you pick between JSON and form data. Kinda, I don't think anyone uses form data. Here we have instead JSON and predefined templates, let's say, for Discord and Slack. So in this case, we select Discord because this is a Discord one. And we have various sets of events. In this case, I'll select package created and package deleted. You can use a secret. It's useless for Discord and Slack. It's more useful for JSON. And yeah, I can create a webhook and it will create one. It will currently not redirect. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I guess I didn't click the button hard enough. Yeah, so now we have the webhook. It's active, but let me save that. Let me update the events. Okay, so and the payload format. Whoops. Please work for. Why is it not working? I tested this all beforehand. God damn it. Well, I can still
Demo effect.
Yeah, I can still go in here and delete. Now let me create a new package. STD something. Create. Failed to create. Wonderful. Let's see. Why did it fail to create? For the love of God, why is it not working? Not yet implemented. That's a lovely error message I'm looking in my terminal. I've tried this and demoed this to other people. Why is it not working? Yeah, and this should be... Okay, the error is because this should be Discord, and I'm gonna do something cheeky, and you will not be able to see this for a moment, but I'm going into the database and manually changing the payload format to Discord. This is very legit. There we go. Now it's Discord. Now I can go to the package list. I should have that terrible package name. Let's delete it. And okay, nothing is working. I swear to God. Okay, this was not the way things were planned. Imagine that Discord message would have shown up in the general channel. Yeah. But yeah, we have currently these events. So package version published, package version yanked, deleted, then package created and deleted, it being archived and unarchived, and when a scope member and pack gets added or removed. And currently we see this only on a scope level, but if I go to a package, you can also configure webhooks for specific packages, and obviously the level of events is just a subset. It's not all of the events that you can get on a scope, because, well, it doesn't make any sense for them to show up. And yeah, I don't know what more to say. It's a webhook system.
Cool. What kind of payload formats are available? The dropdown doesn't show up in the
Oh, it
screen
doesn't
share.
show up. Oh, whoops. So we have
Nope.
JSON, Discord, and Slack. Let me quickly change the screen sharing to change stream to entire screen. There we go. Yeah. So we have, come on, Discord, Slack.
Nice,
JSON, yeah. And they're relatively, like the JSON one is relatively sparse in terms of what is contained in it. I can quickly go here. I can show you the data. It's relatively wait, it's on the models. So package version published contains the scope, the package version, well, the package, the version, and the user that did it, if a user was identified for it, yanked if it was yanked or unyanked, archived if it was yanked or unyanked, and user, if scope members added or removed, it's the user ID. I was considering maybe expanding this to, instead of being the user ID, this being actually the full user, but currently not bothering with that. We can always change these later. These are relatively simple, and I mean, we can have the user ID and we can also have the full user afterwards if we want to modify these. So the main one that obviously for most people will be very interesting is that a version is published, and there probably is a bunch more data that we can include, but not too sure exactly what yet. So this is more of a what do people want out of this than anything else. We can add things to the payloads. So I will hope that people will open issues about that. And yeah, you can activate, deactivate it. Anything else? No, it's, again, it's a webhook system. It's not anything exciting, but yeah.
I'm not super familiar with webhooks, but is it possible to hook that into an RSS feed?
Not directly by itself, but it's possible. I mean, we could have, like, completely unrelated this, we could have RSS feeds for various things. I don't see why not.
I don't know how many people still use that, but
I don't know either. I mean, probably no one knows, but dino.com/blog has, or there somewhere is a feed URL link, like to get a feed. Maybe it's even just feed. Yeah. So there is a feed for that, and I mean, I don't think anyone uses it. I can probably take a look at the requests. It's probably like mine is the first one in 5 years. So yeah, probably not much of a use case for RSS feeds. Webhooks are more useful just because you can integrate them in various different providers, like I think Zaply is one, or what, I can't remember. There's a bunch of different base systems that let you process data, like set the webhook URL to whatever the service gives you, and then you can process the data. And it's Zapier. That's for example one. It's for workflow automation. And I mean, for example, one webhook that we have, for example, in the Discord is the GitHub feed. So GitHub has webhooks. I mean, I can go to the JSR repo just quickly to show you what it looks like. And there's webhooks, and sure. And the page looks very, very similar to what our page looks like. I mean, it's just a bunch of checkboxes, the URL, the content type. In our case, it's formats because we support other things, and the secret. They're not very inventive webhook systems. But yeah, for example, for this one, you get all the issues, PRs, discussions, etc. pushed into a GitHub channel and a Discord channel. And there was an open issue for
Cool feature.
webhooks in JSR. GitHub. Okay. Let me just open the pull request, which if anyone wants to review, more than welcome. You're more than welcome to review this.
Oof.
So that will probably take a moment to get landed, but I have been promised that it will get reviewed at some point. I don't even know what most of the diff is. I think most of it is these query files that get generated. That's like at least 1,000 lines, and then there is like 2,000, 3,000 lines of implementation. It's a lot of boilerplate. There was this issue 1030, which is people asking for this, and these are the ones that they listed and decided to implement them. And people were also asking for npm tarball ready, which I feel like doesn't that kind of be part of the version published? I've not looked at npm tarball flow, how that exactly works. But
I think the problem
I've
is
never
that,
seen that command before.
no, the point is that when you want to download, so I work with that guy. I'm Knoppelsen for the other. So, and so what we wanted to do is publish dually to both JSR and npm, because a bunch of people are like, I'm not going to use your library if it's not also on npm.
Sure.
But obviously publishing to npm is a pain.
Yep.
So you want to like kind of publish to JSR and then have it like mirrored there automatically. And so it would be really nice to, and because you can download the npm tarball from JSR and actually publish it to npm, just rewrite the package JSON name field really, and it'll work, and you can then use it from npm, and that still works. But because the npm tarballs are generated lazily by, not lazily, like asynchronously by the JSR registry. So you publish the package, and then it'll sort of like dispatch it to a queue, and it'll take sometimes a few seconds and sometimes a few minutes until the npm tarball is ready. That's why you can't really like just publish and then, for example, in the same CI flow, in the second after, already download the tarball. Like you have to wait some indefinite time frame, and you don't know how long it is. So it would be really nice to just get a webhook when it's done, and then you can download and publish dually.
Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. Just quickly want to figure out where. Let's see. Queues. I want to quickly. Okay, we have a task/npm tarball. Okay. I mean, I can add here that it will add an event. Yeah, I can add an event for this. This is like seems reasonable.
Very cool.
I know that some people question the use case of dual publishing, but feel like, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I do too. I don't like. I wish that every user would just accept that JSR is sort of like better, but yeah, they don't. Not
I
always.
mean, on that topic is also the npm. Oh god, repo, GitHub. Do I have it in my search? No. There's a pull request in the npm repo for adding JSR support.
Go to the CLI?
Yep, to the npm CLI directly.
Nice.
The problem is if I go for this, the most useful stuff will come up, especially because the CLI is split in a billion packages, so probably it's not in here. But let's see. Oh, it is actually in here. Yeah, this is actually not even that old of BR, it's relatively recent. 3 months. And yeah, there was, oh wait, no, this is not the PR. Oh, this is the PR I was looking at because this is the prerequisite. Yeah, so there's active discussion also from the maintainers, but there's some pushback from Jordan regarding saying that if people will publish to npm with things that depend on JSR, and then someone tries to use an older version, it will break things. I question that to some degree because people that will be using JSR will be most likely on the latest version. And sure, it could be a dependency of a dependency, but I mean, even if this lands now, it's going to take a while until it actually gets released into npm, so I feel like there's enough time to make this viable. I mean, else there will be never any innovation in npm land. I mean, there already is barely any, but if they have chances to integrate with other things, I don't see why they wouldn't. But that's not for me to decide. Yeah, we'll probably push for this discussion to continue. I'll reach out to some people. So yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, let me just quickly yeah, I'll take a look at adding that event. Not sure if there's any additional payload data that needs to be added. I think the tables have a fixed file structure, like path structure, right? Or are they, do they have some randomness?
Yes.
Okay.
No, they have, but I think there can be like several tarballs for the same published version because the like the transpiling step, the logic of that can change. So technically you could have the same version transpiled to different things, like for example, if there's a bug in the transpilation. And so that's why I think the package lock file actually contains some sort of like unique identifier to the like the immutable. This is the transpiled version using that logic for this version of the package.
Okay. I mean, we can quickly take a look. For example, std. I mean, these are just JSON files. Yeah. Yeah, not too sure. I need to probably dig deeper, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be difficult. And if there's some unknowingness, I mean, I can add in like whatever data to the payload, and that should be helpful. Yeah, we are already actually kind of over time, surprisingly. But if there's any topics, I mean, please bring stuff up. We still have some.
Since we've already talked about publishing dually, there's this one idea because there's okay. it certainly works to wait for JSR to generate the npm tarball and then download it and then like pipe it over to npm.
Yeah.
But it would be really nice to have the Rust code that performs this transpilation sort of like as a self-contained crate that could maybe even be published to JSR.
David?
Because then what you could do is in a CI job, you could not only run like Dino publish to publish to JSR, but you could also then run that package to create an npm tarball and then publish it to npm. So you don't actually have to like wait for the JSR infrastructure to provide that tarball, only to download it later. So kind of like reduces the interdependence of all these systems. But there's already an open issue about it, and it was kind of like ranked as like very large or complex. So I didn't really feel like starting on that in my free time.
Yeah, it'd be a ton of work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, we try to modularize some parts of various parts of
Yes,
things, but
it is actually not too bad. Like the way I remember the code base is like, oh yeah, you basically just like have to take these bunch of files and then sort of like extract it. But and the devil is in the detail.
I mean, what if there would be a subcommand, like let's say Dino publish pack?
That would work. Like if there's is that logic already in the Dino CLI?
So what?
It isn't. It's not in the Dino CLI, is it? The logic? It's like in the JSR backend.
Yeah,
right?
it's in the JS. I think it's some. Oh god.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's a
in
mix. Okay, it's just on
Yeah.
JSR. Okay, I thought it was a mix.
And then there's some Dino reasons, like Dino graph.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if we can
Yes, that makes sense.
isolate that part of JSR, I mean, it probably is already isolated enough that it's just a single function to call.
Honestly, even if it's like a Rust crate, like that you just need the Rust toolchain and then download the, like, basically build a Rust CLI to do the same thing, that's not too much of an issue because you're not like bound to the JavaScript ecosystem. You can do it with Rust and CI
Yeah.
too. So you don't.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it definitely is not trivial. Let's put it like that. I think
Yeah.
there was some stuff that it is somewhat like the CLI is tied to it to some degree as well. Like the publishing flow does some stuff related to it. But I might be completely wrong. I've not looked at that code whatsoever.
Because one thing that would be possible as soon as you can sort of like transpile locally is to have support for like the npm GitHub installed. Like when you run npm install and then GitHub : whatever repository, and then it'll sort of like download the repository and run the prepare script. And so you can try out unpublished branches of any repository, even any commit, any ref. So that's really cool when you have like a pull request and you're like, hey, I fixed your bug. Could you try this out? And people are just like, npm install and get the thing, and the whole library compiles into their project, and they can try it out. And then you merge and publish to the like production version to npm.
I see.
And with JSR, that isn't really possible because you always have to like publish for real and then wait for the tarball to be generated, and then people have to install it, and then you can find out if it's fixed. And there's no way. I mean, with Dino, there technically is a way if your source files are like in plain TypeScript and you don't use like an import map or anything, then you can import it directly from the raw URLs of the GitHub repository. But as soon as you have like an import map or a Dino JSON file, or if you have somebody who does not use Dino, then none of these things really work. So it's kind of like, at least in my case, where I use this a lot for my library, it's one of the main drawbacks of JSR right now, that like it would kind of like cut off the feedback loop.
Yeah, one thing we'd like to do is in the links feature is have support where you can specify GitHub repos. But yeah, that wouldn't fix it for somebody who also wants it to like go through the npm compatibility layer.
Yeah.
Uh,
So like a local build, that would be really cool.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, like I get it's complex
Yeah.
to bring up.
Any other topics, or shall we end here?
A very quick one. I just need a yes or no.
Yeah.
Is there anything standing in the way of upping the fresh dependency of JSR to a non-alpha version?
Actually, no. John was actually looking at doing that while he was doing the design refresh, and he told me he struggled, and there was something wasn't working for him. But there is no block action. I mean, there shouldn't be any major issues, but he also didn't spend too much time on it. So probably,
Okay.
I mean, if anyone wants to do it, go ahead. There's literally nothing that is stopping anyone. It shouldn't be difficult. Should be just bumping number and changing the Tailwind config to be the Tailwind 4 style config, and probably adjust a few of the classes that they actually are correct, since they changed a few things. But that aside, I don't think there shouldn't be too much problem.
Adding a vite config probably.
Yeah, and the vite config, yeah. I mean, I think
But yeah,
at least in the past, Fresh used to have an update script. Not sure if we still do that, but that you could run a script and it would update the version of Fresh. So like a migration script. But yeah, I mean, worth taking a look. But yeah, there's nothing. We haven't done it just because there hasn't been any rush for it. But yeah, I mean, if you feel like trying to do it, then please go ahead. Else,
I'll see how far I get.
yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Will do.
All right, that's everything then for this meeting. We would say relatively productive. Let's see, the next meeting is scheduled for in 2 weeks. That would be the 22nd. Yeah, definitely will be available for that. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you so much.